Okay, hello everyone. Can you hear me, right? Okay. So you are here for database technologies, right? Okay. So I was just wondering it's not another class or something. Okay. So this is a course, database technologies. So who will tell what is a database? Do we need database? Okay. And do we need databases, especially in business information systems? Because you are doing degree in BIS, right? So do database have some place in information system? No? Yes? Okay, no problem. This is not a quiz or this is, so yeah, okay. So yeah, so this is a database technologies course, MS218, it's code. I am Jamal Nasir, or Jamal Abdul Nasir is my full name, and I am a lecturer at BIS. And I am teaching this course 6th time at undergraduate level, so hopefully no more experiments on you. So yeah, so hopefully flow would be easy, or you can definitely you will enjoy this course because this is very important course. Your whole degree BIS, the basic backend thing in which you would be storing your data is database. Okay, so database and we will see, obviously we cannot deny or we cannot say there is no importance of data nowadays. Especially we are generating data, either we are using social media or we are using Google for searching for data and information, right? So but at the back end we have to store this data, and there are huge amount of data, so obviously we have to store this data very efficiently, right? So that we can quickly get that data, instead of imagine if you can query on Google and it will tell, okay, results would be ready in 10 hours. So no one will use Google, right? So so storage and efficient retrieval of that data is very important. So this is my research area. Office hours, there is as such no office hours. We will discuss this thing. You can drop an email. We can arrange some Zoom meeting, or even you can visit my office at BIS, right? I sit in 375 office. So this is my email address. Okay. So the world is increasingly driven by data, right? No doubt about it. Today, all businesses, all banks, companies, they are dependent on data, right? If they don't have correct data or right information at the right time, they cannot make decisions, right? So if you don't have, let's suppose you are working in a sales department or marketing department, and if you don't know, so if you have to make some decision, then obviously you need some facts. You need some data, you need some information. On the basis of that data, you can make very good decisions, right decisions at the right time, right? So this BIS degree that you are doing here is all about correct decisions in businesses, okay? If after completing your 4 years, you would be going to different companies. Obviously, departments would be different. Some of them could be in HR, or someone could be in marketing or sales department, but the main crux is that you have to make decisions. For decisions, you must need, or you may require correct data, right? And obviously at the correct time. If you are bidding, your company is bidding for some tender or something, and after the tender date is gone, and then you say, oh, this is a very good deal, then obviously your analysis or your decision have no meaning to the company, because the date for putting or setting a new tender is gone, right? So making a decision at the right time is possible with the help of databases. And this databases is a very basic thing in which you are storing data, because the first step to make decision is to store your data. Like if one company is working for last 20 years. So there must be some mechanism so that you can make analysis of their data for last 20 years. Obviously, for making any analysis, you must have access to that data, right? So this class teaches the basics of how to use and manage data, right? Because you are in the second year, and obviously this course is not about making applications, web-based applications or some other applications driven by databases, but you would be learning that things in different courses. But this course is more focused on how to create databases, how you can store your databases, or how you can create your data in databases management system, DBMS, right? More efficiently, and then how you can retrieve. Anyone heard the name SQL? SQL? Sorry?
Yes.
Okay. What does it stand for? SQL.
I don't know what it stands for, but I know it's database, like storage.
Yeah.
Type of connection.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, SQL stands for structured query language. Query is very similar, simple word, query. It means that if we have to query our data with the DBMS, DBMS is a software, okay? We will discuss this thing very in detail over this lecture, and in fact in the course as well. But for simplicity, DBMS is a software which is storing your data, okay? And to retrieve your data, you need one language which is called SQL, structured query language, okay? So like, have you seen course outline of this course on Blackboard? So some of you have seen that. Like, we would be spending around like 5 weeks on SQL, because SQL is very important, okay? So first step is to create database, and obviously we will start from designing that thing, okay? And designing from the requirements. Then we have to create that database physically on the DBMS. From DBMS, we will be using SQL to retrieve data. And then it's very easy to display your results on web pages, on your mobile apps, right? So front end. If you have data, then you can easily represent your results on the front end. And front end could be web app, Android app, or iOS app, right? Or even is desktop application. So data is everywhere. There is some statistics here, like it's very old, like 3 years old, but still it's very valid for data generation, how much data we are generating. Like if we see tweets, number of tweets per minute, right? It's 0.4 million, right? Per minute. So it means that Twitter has to store these tweets per minute. So you can multiply with hours and days and years and months, and you can see how many number of tweets they have to store. And not only store, they have to retrieve it. They have to search it, right? They have to display it as fast as possible. If someone is just searching on Twitter that like for some particular hashtag, you need results within few milliseconds, right? Maximum 1 second, okay? And similarly, this weather channel, the weather channel, famous one, is getting 18 million requests per minute to different weathers of different cities, countries, and all the stuff. 18 million per minute, okay? So you can imagine if your data storage, data retrieval thing is not efficient, right? You cannot answer these 18 million queries. Same is the case with other thing, Google 3 million queries per minute, right? And there are some other, you can see go to that link and you can see some other statistics as well. So when you think about databases, obviously some of you might know that, okay, there would be DBMS, tables, right? Rows, tuples, columns, data, right? So, but everything nowadays, every application, every web application is definitely using databases. Imagine Facebook is not using database. What will happen? Who will tell? If Facebook is not storing anything, what will happen? Yeah, so every time you have to sign up, every time you have to add new friends again and again, one time only, right? During a session, your post will be gone, right? Next time there is no post, there is no picture, right? So when we are talking about databases, so data could be integer values, it could be text, right? Free text, it could be images, it could be multimedia. YouTube is a very huge databases of videos. Yeah, we can say that. So multimedia databases are there. So we have different types of databases, right? And obviously businesses, like when you are doing shopping on Amazon, you are making some transactions, right? These transactions are like, okay, product ID, how much quantity you bought, and then what was the price, your shipping address, all the information should be stored at the back end, right? At the Amazon servers. So data, the type of data could be anything, right? In this course, our focus would be business data, obviously, but the case for like other type of data like multimedia databases or some other videos or audio databases is very similar to that thing, right? Only the type or data type is different. So yeah, this Facebook is also using MySQL DBMS. MySQL, might be you heard this name, MySQL. No problem. Similarly, WordPress, on which you can create websites and all the stuff, you can manage your websites. So all of these things are Twitter, Facebook, Amazon are using different type of DBMS. At the back end, your data would be stored. In short, like if you have, it must store your username and password, right? That's why they can authenticate. So when we are logging into NUIG account or let's say Facebook account, in the browser you will be entering your username and password, but it will go, this information will go to back to the Facebook server, right? And then it will check through SQL, structured query language, that this username and password exists or not, right? So this is database. Everything nowadays, there is no application you can say that which cannot, obviously every application, and especially if you have big applications having customers or business information, then definitely you need databases. For data analysis, for data analytics, you do require databases, right? So you can say that step 1 is databases, and then step 2 is data analysis, analytics, business analytics. Business analytics will be depending on your data storage thing. Okay, so this course is about data storage, how we can retrieve it, not on the business analysis. I hope in this semester you would be getting or learning another course about business analytics and all the stuff. So that course would be about how you can make decisions from the data. But in this course, we would be focusing on how to store and how to retrieve data, okay? And obviously when you have data, you can use it for power. All the presidential campaigns in US are now based on data, and even all elections and all the stuff, people know how to run campaigns, in which county people like which thing, okay, go there and just ask particular things in that particular county, but go back to another county and say totally opposite thing to that county, because that type of people, you know, from their social behavior, social media post and all the stuff, you know that what are their demands, okay? So communication of this course is through Blackboard. I would say you must, like if you are okay, you are feeling good, you must attend classes in person, and otherwise recordings would be available through Blackboard. And but I would suggest in-person class definitely would have better, much you can say that benefits. You can directly ask whenever you are stuck. Don't wait, okay, I would be finishing my 30 or 45 minutes lecture and then you will ask. No, just raise your hand and ask question. And don't be shy, okay, if there is one thing, let's say MySQL, and you don't know, this is a class in which you have to know, okay? So don't shy, okay, people will say, okay, this is a class 1 or it's a semester 1 question. No problem. Okay, you can ask any question and at any time, right? So all calendar schedule and all the stuff is there on Blackboard. Discussion board is also there, you can use. Any questions so far?
What's DBMS? Whatever that one was. DBMS, I don't know what it stands for. What is that?
What is DBMS?
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, so DBMS is just a software for the time being. It's just a software which will manage your data. Okay, and in today's lecture we will see what is a DBMS. In computing, there is a very good concept or one thing known as abstraction. Do you know what is abstraction? How many of you drive a car? Can drive a car, okay, but you don't have license or something, or can use a laptop, okay, everyone. But do you know each and everything how the machinery inside is working inside laptop? Yes, no? Okay, you are even you are students, but you know that our father or mother, like even there are so many people who don't even know working of computer and all the stuff, but they can use Twitter, they can use WhatsApp, they can use Facebook, right? Right? So this is abstraction. This is abstraction. Like it's you can say that removal of details from the user, right? That's why computers are famous, because it provides abstraction. It provides different level of abstractions. Okay, so if one particular user does not know how the internal bits or how the processor, RAM, all the stuff is working inside, it doesn't matter. He can still use WhatsApp, right? So this is abstraction, because so many things are doing by operating system or some layers. Similarly, DBMS is also an abstraction. Okay, so it will not give you some sort of thing, okay, how you can store your data exactly on the hard disk, on which sector of the hard disk, how you can retrieve your data from the hard disk, right? So this sort of things, all the things would be working done by DBMS. So abstraction thing is there. So we have individual homeworks in this course, 20% of your grades, then one group project, and in which maximum 2 students in a group. Okay, so this group project would be in small sort of assignments. It obviously you will decide which database you want to create, and then you have to, there would be different steps over the semester in which you have to provide different reports or different designs or all the stuff. So yeah, like I would say after this week you should be clear that who would be the second partner in your group. You must decide in a week. Obviously we don't wait so much for making groups and all that stuff. Then we will decide proposals of these projects. Okay, and then we have one final exam. It would be comprehensive. Comprehensive means starting from lecture 1 till the last lecture. Okay, so because it's a 60% exam, so it would be comprehensive. And submission policy is same every time, every 1 day 10% penalty, but up to 3 days, and you may only submit once with 50% deduction if you are more than 3 days late. So for one assignment you would have option to submit it if you want to, but obviously maximum cap that marks you can get on that assignment would be 50. Like if they're 10, then 5 you can get only. How to get an A in this grade? This is very easy. Believe me, if you are punctual in your class, if you are participating, if you are trying to understand all the concepts in the class, then obviously it's a very easy course, because it's very related to the real life in which you are making like different tables, let's suppose student table, faculty table, course database. So you know that what are the characteristics of student that you want to store in your database, his full name, roll number, and all the stuff. It's very easy course, right? So how to get an A, attend every class, complete your assignments on time, and especially reach out to us if you ever feel stuck or overwhelmed, okay? So don't wait for 2-3 weeks or till the final exam. If you are not getting concepts in the class, you can email me, okay? We can arrange some separate one-to-one Zoom meeting or something in which we can discuss concepts if you are not getting concepts, or if you are stuck in your project or something, right? But don't wait that deadline is passed and then when you got 0 marks in the assignment and then you came, oh sir, because I didn't submit this assignment because I don't know how to do this thing. So much better start earlier, and you can yeah. So persistence is important. Obviously you are studying in a semester system, so you have to be persistent. Like it's not an annual system like in small classes in which you have to study in last 1-2 months only, because you have continuous assessments. So if you are not doing good in your assignment and project group assignment, then it means that you would be losing your 40% of your grade, right? And then you only have one 60% thing, right, to clear that course. How to get an F? I would say you need some extra talent to get F from me, okay? If you are very, very, like you say, you have very good talent and you say, no, I need an F from Jamal sir, then definitely you can get, okay? But you have to do a lot of efforts for getting an F, okay? And I would say if you only do 10% of that efforts toward getting past that course, that could be possible, okay? So attend class after few weeks, okay? Copy your assignment from others and never try to understand concepts, okay? So then definitely there is a chance to get this special grade. Attendance, technically I dislike mandatory attendance, okay, because you are paying money to study, and if you don't want to come and study, then obviously in the whole world, no one wants to you, like, right? So if you want to do not to do study, but obviously there is a university policy to make attendance. In the next session, like after 5 p.m, I will tell you, all of you can access your NUIG Blackboard account, right? So in the next class, we will take attendance by just you have to check in to that session, okay? But in the obviously if you are not attending, then people who didn't attend obviously failed in the course. It's very difficult because here we are explaining different concepts, and if you have confusion, you can ask different things. But if you are not attending this course and just relying on the recordings, then it would be quite difficult to pass this course. So yeah, attendance, I will tell you in the next session how to check in. So this is a course outline. So this is a week 1, today's lecture on database introduction. Then in week 2, we will be discussing conceptual modeling, okay? So what is conceptual modeling? It's some sort of, you have to design your database just on paper, okay? On a paper you have to design. So this is conceptual modeling. For conceptual modeling, we can use different notations, UML diagrams, but the famous one for relational databases are ERD, entity relationship diagram. We will study this thing later on. Then we will see in week 3 what is normalization in databases, right? And then we have to map these conceptual modeling into logical modeling, logical mapping, okay? And then from week 5 to week 8, we will be learning SQL, structured query language. So what is a database? If we go with some bookish definition, or from, I think, Oxford Dictionary definition. It says database, an organized body of related information. Related information is very important. Okay. Do you think in the LMS in which I am storing your grades, course grades, I am also storing how many Olympic medals Ireland won in the last Olympics? This is also information and data. What do you think? Are both related? Course grades and Olympics medals, position or something, right? So this is very important. One database means one related information, okay? So might be that related information could be, okay, might be we can enter, okay, this NUIG student is a player of cricket or football, that's fine, one attribute, or he participated in Olympics, let's say, right? But obviously we don't want to store all the results of Olympic matches and all the stuff in the student LMS system, okay? So this is very important, related information. Every database should have all the information that should be related to each other, okay? Might be there is some university, might be they need some other information, but that information is not needed or related at NUIG, okay? One database could it be same? Don't think that same database would be good for NUIG and for GMIT, let's suppose, no. Because every university has different business rules. Every university has different number of credits to pass something, to get degree, right? There could be overlapping thing in fields and all the stuff, but all businesses, even same domain businesses would have different type of databases. They would be storing different data, okay? So all kinds of information are stored in databases. It could be school records, right? Mobile telephone records, and ringtone downloads, grocery purchases, right? So we need databases. So mini world, so or universe of discourse, right? So I would say database, like easy to remember thing is that database is a mini world, okay? Independent mini world. So all the things that are related, they are making a mini world. You have to store that information in a database, okay? So we will discuss this thing, how much information do you require? Let's suppose, what do you think, if one vehicle manufacturing company is storing information about one vehicle in their database, would be same as the NUIG would be storing your car permit, car parking information for a particular vehicle? Okay, again. One manufacturing company, let's suppose you have a one car, and obviously that car belongs to some manufacturing company. That manufacturing company would be storing some information about your particular car. And NUIG is also storing some information about your car for parking permit only. So do you think the data at NUIG regarding your car and the data at the manufacturing company, Toyota or any other company, right, would be same? No. Because, why? Because that data is not related or relevant to your information at NUIG, okay? So, but obviously at the manufacturing company, they do require each and every detail of your car, right? So this is the case, like sometimes you don't have to store all the information of one thing, but that could be possible that in some other scenario you do require all the information of that particular thing, okay? So data versus information. Data is usually unprocessed material, unprocessed data, right? And information is knowledge, intelligence, a particular piece of data with a special meaning or function. Okay, so there is a in many books they say there is no difference between data and information, but people do differentiate between data and information. But usually what is the definition of my definition in terms of data and information? The data that is useful for you is information for you. Otherwise it's just a data. For example, you don't have any concern about stocks. You get a news that particular stock of particular company is like drop 20%. Would it be information for you or data for you?
Data.
Sorry?
If the stock drops, we're gonna have data. Okay. I don't know which company we're using, but we're gonna have data. But the news also affects.
Okay. And obviously, if you don't have any concern about stocks, you don't never purchase any stocks and all, then you will say okay, right? So information is thing, that particular data that is very relevant to you, important to you. Okay. So for one company might be weather data is not important, but for one company weather data is very important. Okay. So data is just about thing, it's relevant to you or your company or not. Okay. So in Oracle database software, it will transform recorded or stored data in statistics. Like if we are storing each student's test score in one piece of data, right? And information is that if we want what is the average of class average. So this is the information that we want from DBMS. Okay, or how many students are failed in this particular assessment, right? So, or how many students have paid their dues and all the stuff. So this is the information that we want from the DBMS. We were storing that information one by one, in most cases one by one per transaction, right? But obviously you can get different type of reports and you can get different type of information, like how many students are getting A grade or B grade or C grade. So this sort of thing is information that you are extracting from the data with the help of DBMS. And in our case, we would be using SQL for this purpose. So I have talked about this thing that data could be in its raw form, right? It could be numerical data, it could be textual data, right? Categorical data, it could be multimedia rich data, right? Documents, PDF documents. So these are different types of data. Okay. So let's suppose if you are making some application for some hospital, HCI or HCE in fact, then might be there would be prescriptions data, right? You are storing in the database, okay, for this particular patient. Like obviously there would be some numerical data on date and time of appointment date and all the stuff, but obviously there would be some prescription data and all the stuff, right? And which would be in textual and in PDF format or even handwritten sometimes. So what is a database system? DBMS. Now we will see what is DBMS. A software system that facilitates the creation and maintenance and use of an electronic database. So it's a software that will help us for creation of data, then its maintenance, and then obviously retrieval as well. Okay. So there are some examples of DBMS. Anyone know this symbol? It's very basic, very basic and very old DBMS. Microsoft Access. This is a symbol or logo of Microsoft Access. Then we have Oracle, right? MySQL, SQL Server, Microsoft product, another Microsoft product. So these are the few examples of DBMS. These are the softwares that are managing different data. Okay, and I'm sharing one ranking with you regarding DBMS. So you can see by December 2020, Oracle is still on the top, right? So then we have MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, PostgreSQL. It's a new one, but it's quite famous, and you can see, yeah, it's at the 4th position. MongoDB. In the next year, you would be learning another course, or like you would be getting advanced databases course in which you will be learning MongoDB, right? And these are different databases, and you can see that Microsoft Access is going down from 9th position. Now it's at the 11th position, and obviously every year it will go down because many other databases are coming up. They are easy to use, easy to set up, and these are the different database models. We will see what is a relational model. In this course, we would be focusing on relational database model. Okay, we wouldn't be learning that sort of thing like MongoDB, right? This one. So, but you can see still in companies, in big companies, top 4 database models are relational database models. All of them are using SQL. So if we are learning any one, like if we, let's say in this course, if you would be learning Oracle, it doesn't mean you cannot use your skills for MySQL Server. 98% things are same only. Okay, the only difference is obviously their license, their efficiency in terms of retrieval, but all of them are using same SQL. So 90% you can say that SQL is same. So in this course we would be learning one tool, but our focus is not to learn that tool, but we have focus to learn only databases so that we can create efficient databases for businesses. Okay, which tool we use in this course? Oracle. Okay, it's at the top position, so why would we would be learning second or third or fourth one or fifth one, and then in the companies. So but our learning wouldn't be dependent on Oracle. Okay, so we would be focused on SQL only, but as a tool we would be using Oracle. So you can download Oracle on your systems, but I have an alternative option. So basically Oracle has a cloud-based server known as Apex. So I will make a different account for you on Apex, so you can you don't have to install Oracle on your computer. You can just, you need a browser and internet, and you can go and log in and all the stuff. You can create Oracle applications or SQL and all the stuff, tables online, and it would be storing your all the things, and you can use anywhere. Okay, but still if you want to install Oracle on your computer, then it wouldn't be difficult. It would be installed as a virtual machine, so your computer would be quite slow if you have, let's say, 8 GB memory or something, because it would be taking at least size is 2-3 GB or so. But you can still install Oracle on your computer. It's easy now. But you will get Apex account, online account, on which you can create your Oracle applications, databases and all this stuff. Okay, and it's very easy to use. You just need a browser and internet, of course. So on Apex you can build different applications. Obviously we wouldn't be going in detail in this course about building an application, but believe me, it's very easy to build a website or Android app or iOS app on Apex by using your database as a Oracle as a backend database. It's very easy. Just drag and drop few things and your application is ready to deploy and use. Okay, so but you can explore that thing on Apex, but obviously in this course we wouldn't be focusing on application building, but we are focusing on database development. So these are the different companies that are using Apex for different purposes. So What do you want from a DBMS? Number one condition or expectation from DBMS, persistent, obviously. Keep data around. Okay. If you are storing some data, you don't want to lose that data, right? Or so this is persistent. Then answer questions about data, queries your data. And the third one is you can update your data. It's not like, okay, you cannot change your password now. Forever the password would be same. Okay. So updation of your data must be the feature of DBMS. So you can say that these are the three important features of DBMS. Persistent, it should be persistent. It should provide you some interface to query your data, right? And you can update your data. Any question? Database, DBMS. So far we have only discussed these two things. Databases, what are databases? Why do we need that? What is the functionality of DBMS? It's just an abstraction. It will help you to store your data on your computer. Okay, it's just a software. It will help you to provide some interfaces to run SQL, structured query languages, or even it will provide you some interface like through Java or some other programming language, through C++ or some other programming languages, Python, PHP. You can simply call your DBMS to get that data. Okay, and then you can display your results through some interface. Okay. So a traditional banking application, data is each account belongs to a branch, has a number, an owner, a balance, and obviously each branch has a location and manager, right? So persistency is that balance cannot disappear after a power outage. Okay, so like if your bank say, okay, you can deposit your money, but if there is power outage, then we cannot guarantee your money. Okay, so obviously no one would be opening account in that branch, right? So this is persistency, same functionality of DBMS that we are talking about. So you can query, okay, what's the balance in John's account? What's the difference in average balance between CS and physics department accounts? And UIG people are taking some analysis, right? And if they want to update, okay, if someone draws 1,000 euro from his account or her account, then obviously they have to minus that thing. And obviously before that, they have to check that balance is available or not, right? So this is update. So these are the traditional banking application. So I think we can stop here.